We're starting Sefer Dvarim. And in the opening of Sefer Dvarim, there's a lengthy description of the location of where Moshe Rabbeinu gives his final speech. The Pasuk says that he was standing in Ever Yarden, Bamidbar, Ba'arava, Mulsuf, Bein Paral or Bein Tofel, Velavan, V'chatzerot V'di Zahav. And Rashi brings Chazal, who explains that really, that wasn't the place where Moshe was standing. It was just an allusion to the Tochacha that Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to give to the Jewish people as he was reminding of all the journeys they've been through in the desert. Now, these places that are mentioned, are they geographical places? Or are they not geographical places? They're just an allusion to the incident that took place there. Rashi goes through each one and explains. The first one, Bamidbar, he says, they were in the Midbar. What happened in the Midbar? The Jewish people complained when they were in the Midbar. Mi'itein muteinu. So that's a geographical place, remembering something that happened there. And the second one too, Ba'arava, what happened in the Arava? Shechatu b'bal pa'or b'shitim. So that's also geographical. Mulsuf is also geographical. As the Pasuk says, V'yamru al yam b'yam suf. Now the third one, Rashi has an issue with. Rashi says, Bein tofel v'lavan. We look through the entire Mikra, and we don't find a place that was the name, Tofel and Lavan. So here it can't be geographical. It must be an allusion to something else. Taflu, what's that referring to? It's referring to the man that they complained. And also the Meraglim. Now we get to Chatzerot. Now Chatzerot's interesting. On the one hand, Chatzerot was a real place. So maybe Chatzerot was referring to something that happened in that place. Or maybe like the previous one of Tofel and Lavan, it's just an allusion to something that happened, but not connected to the place where it was. So Rashi says, Chatzerot b'machalakato shel Korach. So maybe Rashi means that the story of Korach took place in Chatzerot. But the Gur Aryeh, the Maharal, writes it's very difficult to say that. Because Chatzerot can't be the place. If you look at the order chronologically of what happened, Rashi tells us that Korach, the story of Korach, was the fourth incident, the fourth sirchon that the Jewish people had while they were in the desert. Chronologically, that had to have taken place only before the Meraglim. And in the order that we're giving here, it's after the Meraglim. So what is Chatzerot alluding to? I saw a beautiful interpretation in the Sefer Kerem HaTzvi of Rav Zvi Davidson, quoting the Chidush Harim. He says that the word Chatzerot isn't the place where Korach took place, but rather it's an allusion to Korach. What does the word Chatzerot mean? And why would that be an allusion to Korach? The Gemara in Shabbos in Daf Yud Daled describes an amazing takana that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was happy with, that Shlomo HaMelech made. The takana of Eruv Chatzeros. What exactly is Eruv Chatzeros? Eruv Chatzeros is on Shabbos where you can't carry from place to place, and by taking a piece of bread and putting it in one person's house, or everyone bringing their bread together and putting it in one person's house, then halachically it makes a new halachic reality of it all being considered one reshus, a reshus echad. You know, man has basic needs that need to be fulfilled. A basic need for food, a basic need for a home. There's also a basic need for belonging, feeling you're a part of something greater. As children, we have that sense of belonging by being in the family. And as we grow up, we hopefully make a home of our own. And there's a great need to feel that we're part of a community. We belong to something greater. Chazal, in their infinite wisdom, gave us the ability, halachically, to make our entire community to be considered like one home. Instead of a separate Reshut HaYachid and Reshut HaYachid, it's all considered one big Reshus. So the idea of Chatzerot implies division. Everyone's in their own Chatzer. The takana that Shlomo HaMelech made of Erev Chatzeros, that's what brings the entire community together. So the allusion, that, according to the Chidush Harim, of why when it refers to Korach, someone who made a divide amongst the nation, the word that the Torah uses is Chatzerot. According to Korach, we're still in a different Chatzer. Moshe Rabbeinu is in his Chatzer, and we're in a different Chatzer. Right now in Israel, we're going through a challenging time. Although we all have one goal, the Jewish nation have one goal, but divided in different camps, Chatzerot. If we're able to go back and see HaKadosh Baruch Hu as the source, recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu as the source of where we all come from, then we can go back to the recognition that we're all one Chatzer. Acknowledging Moshe Rabbeinu as the Shaliach of Hashem, we're all able to acknowledge that we're one Chatzer, and not Chatzerot, as Korach tried to say. Have a wonderful Shabbos.